Marriage used to be a man's legacy. Now, it's a potential death sentence. Financially, emotionally, legally, spiritually. Most men walk into marriage with dreams of partnership, loyalty, and building something real. But too many walk out with nothing but scars. Half their income gone, limited access to their kids, and a broken sense of masculinity they can't even explain. And it's not because they didn't love enough. It's because they didn't prepare. See, while men are being told to be good husbands, women are being taught how to protect themselves from men, how to always have leverage, how to leave if they're not happy, and how to upgrade when they can do better. That's the culture now. And if you walk into marriage unarmed, you're walking into war with no armor. This isn't about hating women. This is about waking men up. Because love doesn't protect you. The law doesn't protect you. And she's not like that, won't protect you either. What will? Wisdom. This video is for the man who's thinking about proposing or already did. For the man who wants marriage, but doesn't want to be destroyed by it. These are the 7 things every man must do before he even thinks about getting married. You'll either take this truth like medicine or learn it later through pain. Let's get into it. Point 1. Build your identity first, so she can't redefine you later. Before you say, I do, ask yourself, who are you without her? If your entire sense of identity is wrapped up in how she sees you, how she treats you, or how she loves you, then you're not ready for marriage. You're ready for destruction. Because here's the truth. The moment you hand over your identity to a woman, she controls the narrative. She decides your value. She decides what's acceptable. She decides what gets punished and what gets rewarded. And over time, you become a shell of the man you once were, walking on eggshells, second-guessing everything, and forgetting what you even wanted in life. Too many men enter marriage as boys looking for affirmation. They want a woman to make them whole, to believe in them, to complete them. But that's not love. That's emotional dependency. And women smell it from a mile away. And once she sees you need her approval more than you need your own backbone, she'll test the boundaries, whether she means to or not. That's when the manipulation creeps in. That's when the passive-aggressive comments start. That's when the respect dies a slow, quiet death. Build your purpose first. Build your voice, your values, your emotional discipline. Be the man who can walk away from anything that doesn't serve him, even a woman you love. Because if you don't know who you are before marriage, she'll tell you who to be, and you won't even realize you're being erased until it's too late. Point 2. Study female nature, not feminine fantasy. Let's be blunt. The woman you love and the woman you marry may not be the same person over time. Why? Because men marry women based on how they make them feel. Women marry men based on how they serve their life plan. And once you understand female nature, not what she says, but what she shows, you'll stop making emotional decisions based on romantic lies. Female nature isn't evil. It's strategic. Women are biologically wired to survive. And in today's world, that means securing resources, comfort, and options. That's why women say things like, I just want a man who listens and supports me, until she finds one, then gets bored. Money doesn't matter to me, until her friends start posting luxury trips on Instagram. I'm not like other girls, until she gets married, gains leverage, and slowly becomes exactly like other girls. Men fall in love with how a woman makes them feel today. But women often calculate based on how a man will function tomorrow, as a provider, protector, partner, or pawn. This is why so many divorces are initiated by women. Because once the emotional high fades and her needs change, she may not stay in love, but she'll definitely stay entitled to half your assets, your kids, and your peace. Before you get married, study her track record. Not just how she treats you, but how she talks about men in general. How she speaks of her father. How she handles conflict when she doesn't get her way. That's not personality. That's programming. Ignore female nature at your own peril, because she might be the love of your life, or a walking lesson in regret. Point 3. Protect your assets, emotionally, legally, and financially. Marriage is not just a vow. It's a contract. And in that contract, love is optional, but loss is guaranteed if you're unprepared. You're not just marrying a woman. You're marrying her debts, her spending habits, her expectations, and her entitlement. And if things go south, you'll pay for it with more than money. You'll pay with time, custody, and years of peace you'll never get back. You need to hear this. A prenup is not an insult. It's insurance. You don't buy car insurance because you expect a crash. You buy it in case someone else does. But let's go deeper. Emotional protection is just as important. Too many men marry a woman who weaponizes her moods. One disagreement, she withholds sex. One bad day, she treats you like a villain. You need to know, can she manage conflict without trying to destroy you? Also, does she see your money as ours or hers by default? Does she have her own? Or is she just looking for someone to fund her lifestyle? Don't let the honeymoon phase fool you. The same woman who calls you baby today might call a lawyer tomorrow. And if you didn't protect yourself, you'll lose everything. Before you marry, lock down your assets. Lock down your mind. And above all, lock down your ability to walk away from any deal that no longer respects your worth. Because marriage should multiply your life, not divide it. Point 4. Heal your mother wounds, or you'll attract women who weaponize them. Let's talk about the invisible leash pulling most men into toxic marriages. Unresolved mother wounds. If you grew up with a controlling mother, a cold mother, a manipulative mother, or even an overly nurturing one, you were conditioned to respond a certain way to female energy. You might seek validation. You might fear rejection. You might unconsciously tolerate disrespect because deep down it feels familiar. And that's the trap. When you don't heal those early emotional blueprints, you end up marrying women who reflect your dysfunction, not your desire. You think it's love. It's not. It's emotional deja vu. She guilt trips you? Feels like mom. She withholds affection? Feels like home. She constantly critiques you, but you still chase her approval? Classic mother-son trauma cycle. Women sense it too. If you're not rooted in your own masculine emotional health, they'll either manipulate it or lose respect for you. And the scary part? Neither outcome ends well. You don't need a woman to heal your inner child. That's your job. Therapy, journaling, solitude, spiritual work, whatever it takes, do it. Because until you break that cycle, you'll confuse punishment for passion and chaos for connection. And in marriage, that confusion costs everything. So before you marry anyone, ask yourself, am I loving her because she's healthy for me, or because her dysfunction feels familiar? Because if you don't break the mother wound, your future wife will just become your emotional mother 2.0, and you'll wake up 10 years and emotionally starved, quietly emasculated, and too tired to fight back. Point 5. Watch how she handles boredom, not just romance. Every woman is on her best behavior when she's in love. Flowers, texts, affection, support. You think you've found the one. But here's the test that most men never give before marriage. How does she handle boredom? Romance fades. The butterflies die. Routine sets in. And if she only knows how to thrive when she's emotionally stimulated, she will not survive the monotony of real life. That's when the phone stays glued to her hand. That's when she starts needing space. That's when she joins girls' trips with single friends, starts dressing different, or reconnects with old flames just to catch up. Watch how she moves when she's not being entertained. Does she start fights just to feel something? Does she chase drama for emotional highs? Does she respect routine or resent it? Marriage isn't one long honeymoon. It's a series of Tuesdays. Can she handle that? Can she find joy and peace? Or does she need chaos to feel alive? Because if she gets bored easily, she will get restless. And restlessness is the breeding ground for infidelity, resentment, and silent emotional exits long before she files papers. Real wives understand that love isn't always loud. Sometimes it's quiet, stable, predictable. And that's not a problem. It's a blessing. But to an emotionally immature woman, that blessing feels like a prison. Before you marry her, ask, can she handle the quiet parts of love, or will she start burning things down just to feel the heat? Point 6. Ask yourself if you want a daughter to become the woman you're about to marry. This one might hit you sideways, but it's necessary. If you had a daughter, would you want her to grow into the woman you're planning to marry? Would you want your daughter to speak to her husband the way your fiancé speaks to you during arguments? handle money the way she does, respect her partner the way she respects you, or doesn't, weaponize emotion, sex, and silence the way you've seen her do? If the answer is no, why are you tying yourself to her for life? Men often separate the woman they love from the woman they would raise. But that's emotional blindness. Because marriage isn't just about chemistry. It's about character. And if she doesn't have the kind of traits you'd want your future kids to inherit or mirror, you're not marrying a wife. You're marrying a problem in a pretty package. The woman you marry becomes the emotional environment for your home. She's the blueprint your sons will subconsciously chase, and your daughters will unconsciously imitate. If she's selfish now, she'll be selfish later. If she's unstable now, she'll be chaotic later. And if you're excusing it now with, "But I love her," just wait until you're explaining to your therapist how love turned into resentment, regret, and silent suffering. Before you say, "I do," look at her through the eyes of legacy, not lust. Because marriage isn't just about who you lie next to. It's about what you build, what you allow, and what your name will be tied to for life. Choose wisely. Point 7. Be willing to walk away, even if it hurts like hell. This is the final and most important one. If you're not ready to walk away, you're not ready to marry. Period. Too many men ignore red flags, silence their intuition, and swallow disrespect because they've already invested too much. Time, emotions, family introductions, wedding deposits. They feel trapped, and they marry out of momentum, not wisdom. But here's the deal. If you're not willing to walk away when your peace is threatened, you're not a man in love, you're a hostage. Love isn't supposed to cost your sanity. A woman who's right for you doesn't make you question your worth, suppress your truth, or sacrifice your masculinity to keep the peace. You gotta stop falling in love with potential. She'll grow. She'll change. She just needs to mature. No, brother. Who she is right now is who you're marrying. Anything else is a fantasy you sold yourself. It takes a man to say, "I love you, but I love myself more." It takes strength to call off a wedding. It takes discipline to let go of the wrong woman, to wait for the right one. But I promise you this. Nothing hurts more than marrying someone you knew wasn't right and paying the price for decades. So before you say "I do," ask yourself one last question. If it came down to my peace or this marriage, would I choose me? If the answer isn't a solid yes, you're not ready. Yet, if this opened your eyes, if you saw yourself in these points, if you wish someone told you this years ago, then don't keep this truth to yourself. Subscribe, like, comment, and share with brothers and sons who need this truth. Because protecting yourself starts with wisdom, not paperwork. And marriage doesn't destroy men. Unprepared marriages do. You've just been unmasked. Stay sharp. Stay sovereign. Stay dangerous.